Well, a week from today, hundreds of employees at Intel in Oregon will be losing their jobs, the company announced today. It's part of a broader restructuring effort first announced last month. That includes laying off 15 to 20% of factory workers. 529 people, mostly engineers and researchers, will be losing their jobs at the Aloha campus, along with the Ronler Acres, Hawthorne Farms, and Intel Jones campuses in Hillsboro. It's the latest hit for Intel workers in Oregon, the state's largest private employer. Last year, they cut around 3,000 jobs, according to the Oregonian. Tech experts say Intel has fallen behind other companies in the semiconductor race, especially as artificial intelligence technology booms. Intel says they're trying to position the company for the future, writing, quote, "We are taking steps to become a leaner, faster, and more efficient company. Removing organizational complexity and empowering our engineers will enable us to better serve the needs of our customers and strengthen our execution." Intel still has around 20,000 employees in Oregon, but the news has many thinking about the ripple effects, not just the 500 workers laid off, but the property taxes they pay, the schools their kids go to, and other businesses in the community who rely on Intel workers. State Senator Janine Salmon, a Democrat who represents Washington County, says this was not unexpected.
State economists warned us of this. They warned of a manufacturing recession. And the problem is that the jobs won't necessarily, when someone loses their job at Intel, they can't just bounce to another job necessarily and be employed. That's the concern, is that it will be difficult. And this just affects everyday lives.
Senator Salmon says she's been in contact with Intel. She says they're still very tied to Oregon, and she's committed to working with Governor Kotek and Intel to make sure the state is supporting the semiconductor and advanced manufacturing industry. But we heard a lot during the legislative session, mostly from Republicans, that Oregon is not friendly to businesses and has too many regulations. Well, today, Oregon businessman Jordan Schnitzer reached out to us to talk about this, saying that the state could be doing more, especially compared to other states where Intel operates.
Oregon, for a lot of reasons, is perceived as being not a very friendly business state. And for someone that has real estate in 6 states, Phoenix is booming right now. There are Seattle, Puget Sound area, and so forth. These communities welcome businesses. They attitudinally and verbally put the word out, "We want you here." The state's fallen into a malaise, an attitude of being anti-business. Now, that's not the reason I think Intel is cutting back right now. But in their decision as to where they would expand again, I'm not sure Oregon would be top of the list, even though we have more of their operations here than any place in the world. So Oregonians, wake up.
Senator Salmon says next session she wants to work on an economic development strategy, but she thinks there's a lot more going on here than the state's red tape.
This is global. This isn't an Oregon concern. This is a United States and a global concern. We're seeing efforts that are in advancements around semiconductor and advanced manufacturing in other countries that we haven't seen before. When I was on co-chair with Representative, now Congresswoman Janelle Bynum, we often talked about the global leaders in semiconductor and advanced manufacturing. And that was Taiwan, that was South Korea, and it was Oregon. And so this type of nature is very cyclical in that we are seeing, but I think it is deeper. It is more deeply impacted by the global market and concerns around tariffs. That is a real legitimate concern.
Oregon Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici sent us a statement saying, "I am deeply disappointed about these layoffs, especially considering the federal investments Congress directed to Intel. It is my sincere hope that the changes Intel is making will reverse the factors that led to layoffs and help them regain their standing." Intel had been awarded nearly $8 billion last year in the CHIPS Act funding by the Biden administration, but they've only received about $2 billion of that, and the Trump administration says it's renegotiating the program.